Welcome back to Pace. We have another awesome Zelda run coming up in our little Zelda block here at the beginning of day one. Remember, donate to Urban Arts, a great charity doing great things. So keep those donations coming. Um, but we're gonna go ahead and send it back to Lonely for some awesome FSA runs.
Um, I'm just going to get going if we're ready for the countdown. In three, two, one, go. All right, Four Swords Adventures. It's a very different type of Zelda game. So most Zelda games, semi-open world. A lot of them you can just skip right to the end because of that. FSA is different. Four? Yeah. Yeah, 24 different levels that you have to complete. There's no way to not beat every level in the game to beat the game that we currently know of. So, yeah, even though this game is really broken, has a lot of tech, you're still going to see pretty much the entire game because we have to go through every level. Uh, but yeah, I'm Brooke, also lonely. That's what I go by sometimes. Ooh, flashbang. Uh, with me, I got Glyph, who just did the LADX run, but if you want to introduce yourself again.
Yeah, I'm Glyph. I run a lot of 2D Zelda games, like LIDX, which you just saw, and we're back. That's good. I also run this game as well. So this game in particular has gone through a lot of changes in the past year or two.
Mm-hmm.
Um, a new glitch was discovered. It's called Pickup Clip. That breaks the game wide open. An already really broken game broke it even wider open. Saves close to 10 to 15 minutes,
Yeah,
maybe
around
even
there.
closer to 20. It saves a lot of time. Um, and you will see it in almost every level.
Pretty much, yeah. Um, so one thing you'll see right off the bat is I'm playing on Japanese. A lot of these Zelda games play on Japanese for text. In FSA, it's actually different. Text isn't too important because the text displays box by box instead of character by character, except in the intro. So you save like 10 seconds in intro, but the bigger time save is going to be from some version exclusive glitches later on. So to match text in this game, you just press A. No technique.
One interesting thing about this game to note while we're watching the intro, with this game being level based, there's no progress that's saved other than if you've beaten the level or not. Um, so there's no like if you get a heart container or a bracelet that reduces your damage, um, it doesn't carry over to the next level. It just erases. So there's not really 100% for this game.
Yeah,
Any
or
percent is pretty much the only
yeah.
category.
That's also why you won't be seeing me pick up heart containers for the most part. There's one level where I will be, but because it doesn't save between levels, there's really not much point in picking up heart containers.
All right, the most important decision of the run, though, is coming up in just a second.
Yeah,
What direction is Lonely going to face Link in?
I usually just spin the stick and see where it lands.
That's some dangerous games you're playing. I don't know. I don't like that.
Left. I almost said right. Shoutouts to Quo.
So now, if the run is bad, we can just blame it
Yep.
on it being left.
All right. The most important thing of the intro coming up, the four sword pull. Last time I ran this in a marathon, I called it the Master Sword, and a lot of people got mad at me because it's the four sword. It's not the Master Sword. Uh, but the four sword pull, you have to choose yes here.
But your cursor defaults to no.
Ooh, that was a good pull.
That was good, yeah.
Yeah.
Your cursor defaults to no, so you can if you just mash, you'll hit no, and you have to like walk away from the sword and then walk back towards it to enter the text box again. It's really dumb.
You know, it only loses a few seconds, but in the intro, it's basically the only major time saver loss. So
Everything else is cutscene,
feels
yeah.
bad. So worth noting, this game does have two ways you can play it control-wise. You can play with the Game Boy Advance SP, or any Game Boy Advance attached to the GameCube via the cable, or you can play with GameCube controller, which is what I'm doing. GameCube controller provides the advantage of quick transfer of quick formations with the C stick, which is what I'll be abusing a lot in this speedrun. Glyph can talk about that as we get into the first level
Yeah,
here.
for sure. And the first level, I think, is a really great exemplary, just example of the kind of movement that you're going to be doing throughout the entire run. Very fast paced, and also using the links to have these small time saves where you avoid backtracking. You'll see it in a minute, but you can switch to any of the links. So that allows you to put the links all across the screen to do things really quickly. It almost, if you're doing it right, it almost can look like you're playing with multiple controllers. So if you don't know this game, that right there is a formation. You can move the link into 4 different formations. All of them are useful in their own way. The game kind of intends you to use those to solve certain puzzles or to be able to fight enemies with all the links. But we use formations in very different ways in this game, in the speed run. So there you see usage of dropping the links to avoid backtracking. You see that all the time. Another thing about this game is that we're required to collect these force gems. I know I'm going to call them Triforces throughout the run. I apologize in advance. It's going to happen. You need 2,000 in every single level except for the last one, because you need to be able to break these eyes at the end of every single level, which requires having the upgraded sword, which only happens with 2,000 gems. Most levels, the gem routing is pretty straightforward. Some levels, like this one in particular, has some RNG. That's some pretty good rupees, or I did it just then. Some pretty good force gems there. 438's not bad.
Yeah, you generally want above 400 going into the cave, so
Yeah.
pretty happy right now.
This is one of the most RNG dependent levels where you can end up not having enough gems. There's backups for marathon
This
safety,
should
but
be good.
yeah, this should be good.
We're looking for reds because reds are the 20 denomination.
But luckily it's the beginning, so in marathons you can just reset if you don't get enough, or in PB attempts. Nice. So that is a pickup clip. By picking up one of the links in a very specific position, and then going into a formation on a very specific frame, the very first frame you pick up the link, you can clip the purple link into solid objects. We're going to see that all the time, nonstop. That's a lot of gems. Should be pretty good.
Yeah. Cool. A little close, but it's fine. So yeah, that animation means we've gotten 2,000 gems, which means we can break these eyes. If I didn't have 2,000 gems, I would get what's called back in time, where it would send me back to the beginning of the level with my current gem count, and it would send me back to the eyes once I got 2,000 gems. We're going to try and avoid back in time as much as possible. Not something you normally hear in a Zelda speedrun.
There's older routes of this game where you intentionally went back in time. That is not a thing anymore. You try to get all the gems in one go. But sometimes you can get just owned by RNG, so we'll hope that doesn't happen.
This level's dark. This level's actually really cool. I think it's a pretty good test of your link management and movement. It's got a really complicated trick coming up called a freeze clip. If you want to talk a little bit about how this works.
Yeah, so whenever something happens in this game, for example, fire in particular is very bizarre. The game lags a little bit when fire is being put out. You can use that lag to do that clip there. The game doesn't check for collision correctly when that lag is happening. Also, you can push blocks from the side. So the game doesn't check for collision correctly when it's lagging like that, so you can clip into objects.
I think one interesting thing about this speedrun is that we do need the 2,000 force gems for every level. If you're like new to this game, you might think that it's like a hindrance, but it actually makes the routing way more dynamic because there's a few levels where we would basically just skip right to the end, but the force gems make us have to route in a specific way.
Definitely. This next room's pretty cool. We're gonna try to kill all the enemies with just a handful of bow shots.
You can also fire what's called a blank arrow if you shoot too early. That was pretty good.
That was good. Hopefully the 100 doesn't fall. Sometimes the 100 gem can fall into the pit there, and that just makes you sad.
Unfortunately, not a lot of reds, but it'll be fine.
Yeah, there's a 50 chest,
Yeah.
so you should be good.
I also have to get this 20 and this. The rare, the 5 actually counting. Or I didn't need to do that. Sorry, I can't do math.
Most levels have backup gems where you, if you don't get quite lucky enough, you can grab some extras. So knowing all the backups is like a very important part of running this game, because this game is so long, so many things can go wrong that on any given run, you're probably going to use a backup at one point or another. So knowing your backups for everything is critical.
Yeah, so we got the first Shadow Link fight here. I buffered bow into it, so immediately when the cutscene ends, I'll fire off my bow and stun him. So the Shadow Link fights are the biggest RNG of the run. He can transform into any of the 4 Link colors. This one's not bad because there's only one of him. But later there will be ones where there's 2 or even 4 Shadow Links. And it's random which one the real one is.
What's coming up is 1-3, and this is kind of the first, like, roadblock level. One of the harder levels for sure. We're going to see something called a FMC, or Formation Menu Clip. Basically, when you press Y to open up the formation menu to choose what formation you want, that's another example where the game doesn't quite check collision correctly. So you can do what's called a roll FMC by... Also, there's this cutscene skip here. You can push the links to skip the owl cutscene. If you get far enough, you can skip the trigger. Here's another example of a pickup clip.
Have to get back inbounds too.
Yep.
Ooh, very good pickup clips.
Nice. Very good. Those are frame perfect, by the way. Every time you do it, it's frame perfect. So when Link rolls, you can spam opening and closing the formation menu, and you can cause green Link to clip into solid objects. Some solid objects. But first we have to do it out of bounds. Not quite.
These are frame perfect.
Right.
I always like to describe these as they're not random, but they are a crapshoot.
Yeah.
Okay,
nice. So what Lonely did there was she hit there. Here's the formation menu clip I was talking about, just like that. That was awesome, by the way. That was really fast. That's one of the hardest tricks in the run. When you enter into a GBA subzone, you can press the X button or the D-pad to drop the links frame perfectly, and that drops them into this weird limbo state where they're sort of... I don't really know where they are in the world, actually.
Yeah,
but
I think nobody but Schnee does.
Yeah, they disappear. When you call them, they can be called back in really bizarre places. So when Lonely called the links back, and by going into formation, they got called back into the wall. And then by doing an FMC, she was able to get the rest of the way out of the wall. That one is real. That pickup clip is really jank. You only really have one shot at it. So here we're doing what's called jump storage. It looks like this. Basically, when you're jumping off of a ledge, you can store that jump and cause it to occur when you come back into the overworld main area. And they jump in a very weird direction.
The super slide. To attack. So
this-
yeah, you can two-cycle Phantom Ganon by poking him into the correct damage range.
Yeah, one thing about bosses in this game are their damage values are a little bit janky. They move on to next phases
Oh, I
at
messed
specific
up.
damage values.
It's fine.
Yep. So it's kind of tricky. You have to do it kind of perfectly to get the two-cycle. And
Not a huge
swords,
deal. Oh, that's a huge deal.
Link's swords, the hitboxes are kind of weird. Sometimes you can get a hit you didn't intend.
Yeah.
Also, you'll see Lonely picking up an object or a Link when they're collecting big gems because it skips a text box.
Yeah. Skips a little animation where they raise it above their heads. So at every 3 levels, there's this game's divided into 8 worlds, 3 levels per world. Get the maiden cutscene. If we have any donations, these are a great time to read them. It's actually a really good time. Wow. Is this a 15? I don't think so.
It's about a 15, 50 something.
Yeah, wow. 15s are good.
Yeah. Yep. 1559. Very good. So a really good World 1. That level is really hard, and it went basically perfectly. As good as you could want.
Two, 1. The pickup clip gauntlet. This level you basically are just constantly going right, and pickup clips happen to go to the right most of the time. So works out pretty nicely. Oops, did not mean to go in there.
We used to have to do an FMC to get through the lady there. We'd FMC through her, but now we do a pickup clip instead. Very nice.
You can technically skip this Shadow Link gem, but makes the route pretty risky. Alright, don't activate the Zoras.
Yeah. Old muscle memory from
Yep.
before pickup clip. Everyone is super happy we don't have to fight these guys anymore. They were not fun. So you can use pickup clips to go out of bounds. Out of bounds is really funky. The links are in kind of a weird, they can be in weird oscillating states out of bounds. You'll see that a bit later.
First Nova Bomb screen. So the way these work is the bomb counts down from 10, and if you're on the main screen when the bomb hits 0, you will instantly die regardless of your HP.
Nice. If you fail that pickup clip, you have to like go underwater or something to avoid the Nova Bomb.
That's not right. Oh my goodness. These pickup clips are also pixel perfect, so we have to do a pretty precise setup.
Yeah, whatever pixel means in this game.
Yeah. So this game actually tracks your position down to like a 10,000th of a unit of precision. It's pretty cool. Something like that. Pretty good gems.
Yeah, you have plenty of gems. So, the next boss, we're gonna see, it's gonna be Lobster. We're gonna see him quite a few times in this run. This is probably the easiest one, maybe the second easiest. It can be a pretty frustrating boss to fight, for sure. That was really good.
Yeah, I made a gamble there that he would go clockwise. Because whenever you hit him, it's 50-50 if he'll turn clockwise or counterclockwise.
It's also it's also random whether he'll drop a green or blue gem, which is pretty important because
Yeah.
gem
Blues
count in
are,
this level in particular can be really tight.
Blues are 150. Big
Yeah.
blues are 150. Big greens are 100. For anyone who may have not played this game.
It's
2-2
coming-
is a pretty infamous level in this game. It's the village quest. We're going to skip all of it.
See, we thought we skipped all of it back before pickup clip was a thing. Now we actually skip all of it.
Oops.
Nice. So by doing a pickup clip here to get past this fence, it skips the entire thing. Normally you need to get like a feather to be able to jump in the underground section, but skipping all of that. So this gem you see on the very far right of the screen is very important. We're going to try to duplicate that gem as many times as we can to get to 2,000. Basically, if you collect a gem, at the same time you screen transition, the gem stays on the overworld, but you also collect it. So you can keep recollecting it over and over again. It's called gem duping. It is very precise. Let's do it one more time.
Don't trust that.
Nice.
Nice. Oh, grab it, please. Thank you.
That's a very scary part of the run. Because
Yeah.
if you mess it up and you're low on gems, you have to go back in time and do some backups that are very slow. So here's going to be some janky out of bounds stuff I'm talking about.
Am I on the right pixel?
Yeah, they are very position finicky, those pickup clips. So the links are oscillating in a really weird way. And by doing specific inputs, you can cause them to do a jump to get to the ground. Alright, so coming up is 2-3, maybe the hardest level in the game.
For me, definitely.
Yeah, we're going to see a pickup clip with a roll, which is something we haven't seen before. By rolling, you can gain enough momentum to get the links further into the out of bounds areas. And this trick we're going to see is going to chain two of them together, two rolls. It is very, very precise.
Yeah, this is probably for me the hardest trick in the run. This pickup clip allows us to basically play the level backwards, which is really cool. Normally I'm supposed to do a big quest to get the lamp and bow and a bunch of stuff, but we can skip all that.
So you see that little part of the room on the right side, and that's where we're trying to get to. This is one of those parts in PB attempts when you just kind of expect to have to take a couple tries on it.
Oh, wow.
Nice. That's very difficult. And then you have to do an out of bounds frame perfectly right afterwards. Luckily, this is the last out of bounds in the run.
Yeah, there used to be like 5, but thanks to pickup clip, we've narrowed that down to 2. This one I'm really bad at. Cliff and I were talking earlier about how, even though they're all technically the same, out of bounds can feel different to different people. There we go.
Nice. So basically, I don't really know why that happens, but you can transition in weird ways when the links are out of bounds like that.
Basically, my understanding of it is that the rooms are laid on top of each other in weird ways, not the way they actually are on the map. So now we got the lamp. We can basically just go to the end of the stage.
We used to have to do what's called zombies. Fortunately for us, unfortunately for you, we don't do it anymore. Fortunately for us, because it was an awful trick that killed many, many runs. Unfortunately for you, because it was really cool to watch. It's a very cool glitch. But luckily we don't have to do it anymore. It's a big run killer.
This trick is called GASAG. What does it stand for? Nobody knows.
Maybe you, your viewer, can figure it out.
Yeah, donate with what GASAG stands for.
Yeah.
This is the standard Zelda tile room.
Yeah, pretty much a cutscene.
It's a good time to talk about combo if you want to.
Yeah, so that combo number you see built up. As the combo rises, you'll start seeing gems fall from the sky. So if you kill enemies without taking a hit, your combo will go up.
Yeah, a really fun fact is that on most versions, NTSC versions, when you get to like combo 60, you'll get a force fairy, which is basically an extra life. But on the PAL version, if you get to like 60 or 70 combo, you actually get 1,000 gems, which is really cool. And there was some hype about like, ooh, maybe PAL can be faster, but that did never really become a thing.
This room is awful, by the way.
Yeah.
These rats can move in very random and erratic ways. Luckily, you get a health refill right after.
Yeah, whenever you get the 2,000 gems cutscene, you get a health refill.
Should also talk about dying in this game. When you die, you get revived if you have a force fairy. You get force fairies by either, finding them in the overworld, getting your combo up to 60, or by beating levels. Hopefully we don't see too many deaths, but if we do, they're actually not that costly normally.
Yeah. It's basically just a flat 10-second time loss.
Yeah.
There used to be a good amount of death abuse in the run, but it's not really as much of a thing anymore.
Yeah, I think it's now possible to do an optimal route deathless, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that is true.
Which used to not be a thing. You used to have to take advantage of a lot of deaths when you're doing glitches. See if we can get the one cycle.
Oh, it's
Nice.
so free.
It is famously free.
Yeah.
This is our second maiden. Also, donate to tell us which of the maidens is your favorite.
Yeah.
That's a very important question. It's a good first date question because if they say red, you know they're not the one.
Is that what you asked your wife on the first date?
Yeah, that's what I did.
Ooh, a 27. I've only gotten like 2 27s ever. It's a good run.
Yeah, this is a really good run so far. This game is very hard. I can't stress enough how difficult this game is.
At the end of Glyph's LADX run, he said it's a pretty good barrier or entry game into speedrunning. If I'm going to be honest, I would not say that about this game. I'd say maybe try LADX first and then try this game. If you really love FSA, you can definitely make it happen as your first speed game, but I would probably try and run other games first. Which I guess sounds gatekeepy, but so 3-1 has a really unique problem, which is that our health, we have to intentionally take damage 1 or 2 times. So our health is actually kind of a problem. It's probably the easiest level to accidentally die on.
Yeah, I would agree with that. This cave here, we're going to do what's called a formation hover. By holding the C stick when you're in a formation, you can hover over pits like this. This one's really janky. Nice, you got it.
Yeah. So for example, we have to damage boost through these, I guess they're chews here. These hearts can sometimes, or rocks can sometimes give you a heart, which it actually did, but I wasn't able to grab it.
Another thing about those formation hovers is that they only work going to the right or downwards.
Just because of how formations work.
Right. So not as powerful as you might think, but they're still pretty powerful. Alright, these Hinoxes can be a problem sometimes. I know casually, when I played this game, those Hinox made me so mad, because they would just steal your rupees or your gems, and then you'd be sad.
Here's the C left spin attack.
Oh, I love C left strats. C left is probably the least useful formation in the game. It still has its plenty of uses, but whenever we can find a strat using it, we're all really happy. We're going to skip the screen that has the million Hinoxes by going out of bounds.
Here's another super jump coming up. Be sure to say "we." We.
You can also kill those guys with one hit if you're positioned correctly.
It's pretty.
Another example of where like Link's swords hitbox are very weird. They're pretty tight to get a good hit.
Ooh, should I go for disco gems? I didn't even think about it.
Oh, I think you should at least
Yeah,
go for it.
I'll go for it. So basically, if I can pick up these gems correctly, they'll spin around my head like a disco ball. And if I can't do it, we'll cry. Okay, I got the half.
Pretty
disco.
good. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
It's better than picking up each one individually.
Yeah. Alright, coming up is 3-2. Actually, my favorite level. Fun Brook trivia. I think it has a lot of cool tricks. Right off the bat, we're going to do an owl skip into a freeze clip. Two things we've already seen in this run before.
There's the owl skip. And then, like she said, she's going to do a freeze clip using the fire here in the water. Another thing I want to mention, another mechanic about this game, is that when you pick up a big green gem, text will appear if you're Green Link. If you're not Green Link, text won't appear. It also only appears the first time you pick a gem up.
That's also a regional difference.
Yeah, it's another regional difference. It's very weird.
Yeah, extremely weird thing to change
But
between
we
versions.
need to take advantage. Oh, whoops. Oh, okay, it worked.
No, it worked.
I thought that wasn't going to work for some reason. We're going to take advantage of that mechanic in a minute. So Lonely is going to avoid picking up any green gems with Green Link. Blue picked up a pot there. That's pretty important. You'll see in a minute why. But it's to do with a glitch called the Flying Link glitch, or FLG. Really broken mechanic. There's lots of ways to trigger it.
It happens like constantly throughout the run if you know what to look for.
Yeah. It has a lot of really weird side effects, like you can't take damage, and you can walk through a lot of enemies. And you can cause Link to just be still in the air like that, which allows you to screen transition early. So here at this screen, these bombs, one of them will blow up and lead the path forward. The other one will give you a bunch of gems, which is useful. But if you're on this screen, when the bomb blows up, you die. So by taking advantage of the text box, Link can't die while the text box is up or take any damage. So we just wait for it to explosion to go through, and we can pass safely. Should see another formation, or maybe not.
Oh, no.
Nice.
Got lucky.
Good RNG.
Yeah.
You can formation hover over it if you get unlucky. And then here's an example of a reunite FMC. Those are all frame perfect,
no,
by
I
the
didn't
way.
get it.
I didn't quite get it. Yeah.
Yeah.
These are all frame perfect. Nice. So I frame perfectly closing and opening the formation menu. Like I said, you can cause those links to clip into solid objects or objects that would normally cause you damage.
Yeah, stuff like fire. Fire's the big one.
Usually,
Some
yeah, fire is
like electricity barriers. We'll see later.
right. Usually, when you call the links, oh, that was good RNG.
Yeah.
Here's an example of where the RNG really matters with which link is the real one.
This health situation is not great, but it should be fine.
There's some health hearts you
Yeah.
can pick up in the rocks.
Yeah.
Normally, when you call links, if they hit a solid object, they just teleport through it and will appear on the other side, like straight teleport to link, the green link. But formation menu clipping bypasses that.
Helmarok King.
Yep, Helmarok is pretty easy boss. A little bit of RNG involved, but not too much. Just like the boss in 2-3, Lonely's going to try to go for one cycle. It's also kind of tricky.
Yeah, I am not so great at this one, but hopefully I can get it.
That was good RNG, though.
Yeah, got the good pattern.
Nice! Got both one cycles. That's really impressive.
And using the bomb to skip the gem animation.
Generally speaking, the last level of each world is pretty lenient on gems because you get a lot of gems at the very end when you defeat the boss. The only level that's an exception to that is 4-3. That one can be pretty tight. Moving on to 4-1. 4-1 can be a pretty tricky level because of
3-3.
Oh, 3-3.
Yeah.
Yep, obviously. 3-3 is also a tricky level. There's a lot of fire in this level, and that can be really frustrating because you can get knocked back and take a lot of damage. And whenever you hit fire, you lose gems also. The hitbox of the fire disappears before the visual does, so you can kind of roll a little earlier. So Lonely's gonna try to do that, where you roll purple Link into the fire to get him to clip through. You can do an FMC to skip this room, but I don't think anyone does it.
Yeah. It's a very minor time save for a very hard trick. It's a gap skip. Basically, by shifting your momentum, you can set purple's respawn point to be the other platform.
Another example of a trick that only works going right or down. There's a lot of that in this game because of the way formations work.
A downward gap skip, speaking of.
So here's an example of a pickup clip going to the left. You can use that to clip into doors. That's a lot harder than a normal pickup clip. It's just a little bit different. The timing's different.
Yeah, they're
and it's
both
harder to
frame
set up.
perfect, but it's like different frames. So
Yeah.
because most pickup clips are going to the right, your muscle memory is going to be for right-facing pickup clips, which just makes the left-facing ones a little harder. Shouts to Darko, the best speedrunner of all time for this strat. I messed it up. I'm sorry, Darko. Alright, this room's pretty cool. Throw red into the fire, and when he pops out, he actually picks up the gem. There's invisible pots on these switches.
So we need bombs just to defeat the boss of this world, the Dodongos. But first we have to do another Shadow Link fight.
And
So
this is
there's
the
50
first one with 4. Or no, the previous level has one
Yeah.
with 4.
So this one, there's a 50% chance that the green Link, or the real Link is in one of those, and looks like she got it. That's good RNG.
Oh, I was not looking at my bombs.
A good strat for fighting these guys is to throw one of your other Links at the Shadow Link and it'll stun them.
I actually want to grab this. Yeah, I jokingly like to call this game Pick Up Your Friends to Go Fast.
She tried at home. Works IRL too.
You want to try it later? Please. Okay. So these Dodongos open their mouths randomly, move around randomly. Basically everything about them is random. Just have to react.
Yeah. Also the hitbox for their mouths are very weird. Sometimes the bomb won't get eaten.
Oh, I did a 2 for 1. That's a really rare thing to see.
That is very cool.
I'm actually going to wait. I don't like...
You gonna go for the FMC?
No, I am not.
Aww.
You can, similar to the bumper guy's room, you can do a FMC to skip this owl cutscene, but not really worth it, in my opinion. Sort of thing where if like I were to ever go for world record, I'd probably implement it, but for now I'm good. So green maiden, best maiden. Also, Zelda doesn't count for best maiden. We forgot to mention
Yeah,
that.
that's a cop out.
Yeah.
As long as you don't pick Red or Zelda,
Yeah.
you're okay. All right, next is World 4. 401's an interesting level. It's gone through a lot of changes recently. You used to take the carrot that you get, which spawns a horse, and take it to the end of the level where you're not supposed to have it. But that's recently changed, and I'll get more into that in a minute.
Yeah, first we have to do the professional Malin escort. That's what this trick is called.
Very important.
If you see up there, which is the square formation, your hitbox is just in such a way that the fire doesn't hit you or Malin.
Yeah, your shield is like on the right side of Link, so... So after this cutscene, we'll get access to horses. Casually, you're supposed to just get a horse and use the horse to get through the section, which is what we're going to do this time. Only just going to spawn a horse and get through it as fast as possible. What we used to do is take the carrot and carry it all the way throughout this whole section without getting hit, which getting hit would make you throw it. So it was a very kind of nerve-wracking part of the run. But that's gone now. What we could do is we could use the horses to kill these guys, which is what you're supposed to do casually with arrows, I think.
Yeah.
But pickup clip changes all that, obviously. And we'll also see another instance of gem duping.
This one's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not... Okay, that worked. That one's just really janky sometimes. Very glad that she got it.
Very scary trick coming up after this horde fight.
Yeah.
So this game has 4 jewels you're meant to collect. We're going to get 2 of them, but 2 of them we will hopefully be skipping. So the way this works is you fight a bunch of enemies on screen, and then you get dragged into the shadow world where you fight another enemy, and then there's a minute-long jewel cutscene. But I'm hopefully going to be skipping all that with a pickup clip. But if I mess it up, I may have to watch the cutscene. So I'm gonna lock in here.
We'll explain how it works after after she does it. Nice. That's very nerve-wracking.
Yeah. It's not over yet. I still have to get back inbounds, but we're mostly in the clear now. All right.
Perfect. Cool. So basically the way that works is if you're out of bounds in boss rooms and that counts as a boss room, even if you get to the screen transition, you're not supposed to, the game doesn't let you go to the next screen. There's like an invisible wall that stays there until a cutscene plays. Normally that cutscene is the boss dying, but if you use an orb counts as a cutscene. So it unlocks the screen transition, which is why we needed the orb.
Shouts to Schnee Heidi for being a genius in discovering that.
Yeah,
and also like every other trick in this game.
Pretty much. Now we're at the swamp.
The swamp.
The one and only. This is a really hard level. It's got a lot of jank. We're gonna start by skipping this Nova Bomb screen.
Gonna reset the screen.
Nice.
So even back when this game was glitchless, this was one of the most technical levels because you're doing the whole thing with Feather, pretty much.
Feather is a really janky item in this game. Jumping in general is just weird, and we'll see examples of that in a minute. This screen is pretty tough to do on a one cycle. We'll see if she gets it. Nice.
Oops.
Oh. Second one,
the easy part.
Second one doesn't count.
Yeah.
As long as you get through that first section fast, you're doing pretty good.
The first section, if you fail the cycle, it can be really nasty.
This is the only screen where all the enemies just die immediately instead of running around, and we don't know why.
Yeah, very strange. Ooh, I got that throw first try.
So throwing in this game is really weird, because if you do it at the peak of your jump, it's actually doesn't throw as far.
Got magneted.
So this is swamp jumping. We don't know why it works, or how it works, or why it fails when it fails. It just is a thing, and it looks like that. We have a second one coming up here in a minute.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Basically, the way it works is when you call the links back to you, you have a small window where you can use the feather again and jump in the middle of the swamp.
That's a pretty infamous trick to get walled on. Can definitely happen. So I'm glad I got through there.
Like, I've seen people game over there
Yeah.
in runs. It can be really bad. Luckily, gem count's looking great.
Yeah, this is another level where gem count can be kind of tight. I cannot see anything on these monitors. On my setup at home, I have the brightness set so I can see in the dark a little bit, but here I do not have that. So
maybe we'll see a flamethrower today.
Oh, maybe. So if this boss, sometimes we'll do a flamethrower attack. It's very rare. Looks like it's not going to happen. Yeah, no flamethrower. Sorry. Oh, I'm a fraud. Oh, I got one. Okay.
Nice.
So yeah, if you use the feather and jump frame, or if you slash and jump frame perfectly, you can get that little glitched animation.
So next is 4-3, and I think this is the only level that's sun glitchless.
That's correct.
Used to be 2, but now it's just this one.
Yep.
Actually, 7-3 doesn't count because you had FLG in at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one's pretty straightforward. Not much to say about this level. It can be pretty easy to get caught here if you don't do your movement
almost
right.
got caught.
Yeah. It's not the end of the world if you do, but it's a big time loss.
This is a level with a very tight gem route, probably the tightest in the whole run.
Yeah, I would say so. Luckily, there's not a whole lot of RNG gems.
Yeah, the big thing is right here, I would like some 20s. Oh,
Yeah, it's like
I'm
the
gonna
only...
refresh that.
It's
3
not
is
too
pretty
bad.
good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. And then if you also keep your combo up in the next room, you can get an extra 20 gem, and that can be helpful too.
Oh, I didn't mean to do that, but it was cool, so whatever. Okay, I got it. I wasn't paying attention.
So one thing to note about movement in this game is that in games like Ocarina of Time or Minish Cap, you get invulnerability frames when you roll. You don't get that in this game with rolling, but you do with slashing your sword. So you can go through some place where you would damage boost off of. You can just kind of clip through with your sword if you do it correctly. It's a lot tighter.
Oops, grab the fingertips. So we're looking pretty good on gems.
Sometimes you can still get owned by the boss, and they won't give you any gems, but hopefully it doesn't happen.
I also got the music glitch.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you go back to the overworld,
Oops.
right after switching links, you can get a glitched music. Like your music will stay the Shadow World music. It went back to normal after she went back to another GBA screen.
Yeah, that's why I did that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Something worth noting is the roll button and the grab button are the same in this game. It's R. So sometimes you'll see me grab at the air when I'm attempting to roll. It's a pretty finicky thing.
Co-op runners love that mechanic.
Yeah, grabbing your friends. A lot of people ask about co-op runs. Co-op in the past was not a very interesting speedrun, but 2-player co-op now is actually really cool. Lots of unique glitches that are only in that mode. 4-player co-op still doesn't have much, but maybe someday. Anyway, this is Jalhalla. This boss sucks and blows. Sorry.
Famously.
Famously, yeah. So this boss is actually a little different than the other ones. Most bosses have HP, so a jump slash, for example, does more than just a sword poke. But this boss works on a hit count, so you just have to hit him 3 times per cycle.
You also try to strategically place the link so you can get as many of these torches as possible. And if he catches you with his lamp, he'll blow out all the torches. And you don't want that to happen.
Yeah, major time loss.
So one more cycle, we'll do it. All the links are right on top of the lamp. Oh, yeah, that's what happens.
That's an unfortunate time loss.
This is why we don't like this boss.
I will use this opportunity to grab a heart, though. Oh, he blew out that one. That's unlucky.
Luckily, as long as he doesn't get hit here, gem count is good. Because I'm amazing at video games, sometimes you'll get hit here and you'll lose 50 gems and you can't collect it again because it's during a cutscene.
Wow, that's an awesome gem placement. Okay.
Yeah, where gems land after these boss fights is also random. It can be really frustrating. Like they can fly across the entire screen sometimes.
Now I think this is my best World 4 time ever, which is pretty cool. Very good run so far.
Yeah, surely Marathon PB incoming.
Surely. There's nothing that can go wrong from here.
This is my favorite maiden.
I respect that choice.
I like that color.
Yeah, probably my second favorite. I like the white blue. Cyan-ish.
So 5-1, this is the least interesting level in the game. This is the banned 100 gem. It's not allowed in glitchless
Yep.
because it's a glitch. This is another level where gem count can be pretty RNG based. Luckily there's backups.
So much so I'm actually gonna grab those 5s.
This is level, you could technically get to the very end really quickly, but the
Yeah.
reason we can't just go straight to the end of the level is because we need to collect a lot of gems on the way. I don't know if this trick has a name, but it's abusing formations and oh, you don't have the key. You need the
Oh,
key.
oops. Thank you. I picked up grass instead of the key. That can happen.
Yeah, go. Everyone, go touch grass. Yeah, that pit rolling thing was abusive formations and rolling at the same time. You can get through a lot of pits, and I think we'll see more of that later in the run. More glitch music, by the way.
So yeah, I could, like Lip said, I could just go to the end now, but I do have to collect gems to be able to break the barrier. Not the bees. Please.
Oh boy.
Uh-oh. This is actually kind of not great.
So this rock here, it's random how many gems it drops.
Yeah, I did a little setup there to put the wall master, or floor master, I guess, in a glitched position so that he can't grab me.
Got some reds there.
Yeah,
I've
pretty
seen worse. Hopefully.
good. Hopefully enough to skip the backup. Looking like no, actually.
Yeah, you need 1750, I think.
Yeah. So I'm actually just gonna skip these and grab the backup instead.
Yeah.
It's a 150, right?
I think so, yeah.
Actually, I'm just gonna grab this 50 just to be safe.
Yeah.
I trust you, but just being safe.
That makes one of us. casually, this screen is pretty trolly. I think a lot of parts of this game are pretty trolly, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, it's meant to be played with your friends, so.
Hope you've been practicing your Fs.
Yeah, hold on, let's see if I can do this.
That's a pretty good F.
Yeah, it's low, but whatever.
I approve.
Thank you.
Five 2 is another level where we skip everything. Starting with a pretty cool owl skip. Again, only the active link, the green one, in the case when you're in a formation, can activate an owl trigger. So owl skips make abuse of that.
Oh, oops, I had it. But... So this is a pretty tight formation menu clip. There is a way to skip this with pickup clip, but I don't like it. Though maybe I should have learned it.
Nice.
There we go.
This is one of the worst Shadow Link fights in the game. Second worst. Because they all spread out all across the screen, and they go into these GBA screens, and you don't have any items to beat them with.
Of course.
Yeah, nice. At least they didn't like disperse into GBA screens.
Yeah.
So could have
I
been
can
worse.
actually pick up these gems, so not the worst.
Yeah. If you're gonna get bad RNG, that was the best way to get it.
Yeah. Worth noting, whenever the Shadow Link holds up his sword, there's a brief window where you can slash him and his shield won't be active. It's called a Shadow Link quick kill.
So now this level kind of rewards you for beating it with this like gem rush, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is pretty convenient. I don't think we deserve this reward because we didn't actually play any of the level, but we'll take it. Yeah, we'll take it. And also another good thing is that if you don't have enough gems, instead of sending you back to the very beginning of the level with Back in Time, it sends you back to the beginning of this section. So it doesn't really waste much time if you don't get enough gems. But Lonely has more than enough.
Yeah.
Plenty.
I got all the Shadow Link gems, so
Yeah.
worked out. You want a 2000 in this level before the mini boss, because whenever you level up, your sword damage also does increase. So we're able to do a quicker kill on this mini boss. So no way to skip this jewel. Because the screen transition is up, up is not really a direction we can clip a lot of the time.
And also, I don't think there's a...
Yeah, there's no way to unlock the screen.
Right.
So, pretty unlikely we'll ever skip this one. Unless something really wild is found. So we get to just chill and watch the gem cutscene. Or jewel, sorry. Very important distinction.
Alright, so next level is 5-3. Pretty difficult level. I would say. It's gotten easier since pickup clip. It used to be really hard. Still difficult, but not as bad as it was before. This is one of those levels that really abuses pickup clip for sure.
Before pickup clip, this level was about 7.5 minutes. But with pickup clip, it's about 5. So major time save. And the first one is coming up right here. That's not good. Okay, backed it up fine.
That also skips a little mini cutscene where a bunch of enemies will fall from the sky.
Oops. Oh, I gap skipped too well. And that can happen. There's actually a new way to do this with the GASAG, but I haven't learned it yet.
Another thing I want to point out, just an FYI, while Lonely is pushing this block around, you notice when she picked up the bomb, she's on the right side of it. Picking things up in this game is very bizarre. It's like you have to be to the right of the object, or like above or below it. It's the I don't really understand why it's built that way.
Yeah, very strange.
You can't be right next to it.
Here I'm going to do a cool trick to set my respawn position back to the beginning of the room. By falling off in a certain way, you can just make your respawn the beginning. It's another pretty weird trick.
We're taking this key throughout the entire dungeon, by the way.
Nice FLG. I probably should have gotten up to 900, but surely it'll
Okay,
be
there's
fine.
there's backup chests too there. Here's another pickup clip.
Oops, I did not mean to do that, but whatever, it works.
This room is pitch black. So you have to do this pickup clip blind. There's also keys that can hit you like that.
Yeah. Gonna try this. I don't know if this works. Okay, well, we'll never find out.
There we go.
Okay.
Nice. That skips having to get lamp and light all the torches.
There is a pickup clipless lamp skip, but it's probably the hardest trick in the game.
The D2 thing, or the A2 thing. Bow skip or whatever. That's probably the hardest trick.
Here's bumper guy skip. Pretty cool trick.
Nice. Also, we'll see another example of FLG here.
I don't do it.
You don't do the FLG?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just pick a god and pray for this fight.
That's fair enough. There's a strat to do FLG with the pot that causes you to not have to take damage. You're
It's
invincible.
a lot more consistent. If I was smart, I would probably do it, but whatever.
Pretty good positioning. I think you should be able to get it.
Oops,
Ooh.
that was a choke. Yeah, this can go really poorly if,
This should be good. It's a good pattern.
yeah, there we go.
This one dies in one cycle. Doesn't have as much damage as the first time we saw Phantom Ganon.
Cool. Gems can also be a little tricky with this route, but it worked out. Here's a really cool cutscene skip. So also whenever you level up your sword, you get the hurricane spin. So I'm going to set it up in such a way that red will go over the cutscene trigger with the hurricane spin. Very cool trick.
It's definitely faster, chat. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Shouts to my friend Dan who found that trick, by the way. Miss you.
This is the Red Maiden.
Horse girl.
She talks for a long time. So that is World 5. We have 3 more left, 6, 7, and 8. World 6 is the desert world. It's my favorite world.
Really?
I do. I like World 6.
I respect it. In the age of pickup clip. Pre-pickup clip, I would have questioned that.
I like 6-1 a lot. Shout out to Mighty Mouth. This is Mighty's favorite level.
Oh, shoutouts to Mighty Mouth.
This is a weird little quirk where you can like push the block from the wrong side.
Yeah. You can actually do it in such a way that the block pushes up against itself infinitely, and it keeps generating dust clouds, and you can actually make so many dust clouds the game will crash. It's a very cool trick. So in this room, I'm trying to make a cycle. This portal opens and closes. It's not great positioning.
Nice.
Okay, didn't get trolled. If you exit the portal right when it reopens, you can actually get forcibly re-entered into the shadow world. It's really annoying.
This is an FLG. Basically, all you do is spin slash or dash attack, jump attack. Excuse me, jump attack at something that makes you bounce off it, or clink off it.
Just gonna
And
ignore that
as long as
damage.
you don't stop walking, you're invincible. It's pretty broken. We'll see more of that later. This is another example of a gem dupe. This is the last one in the run. This one's pretty easy, thankfully. Definitely the easiest.
I do have to dupe an extra time because I messed up, but
Yeah.
not a huge deal. That should be enough.
Here's some more. Another example of how to trigger FLG. There's many ways.
Shouts to the cheap.
There's a bunch of trapdoor, like fake floors that you can fall into. They don't trigger if you have FLG active. Also, you can just walk through all these
Oops.
cacti.
Yeah, if you go right in the center of a portal, you will.
Yeah, you don't
Fall
get
in.
sucked into it, but you can fall still.
Not a huge deal. I actually got an extra 100 out of that, which is really nice. Coming up's a really flashy trick. I like this one a lot.
Are you doing the pickup clip here?
Yes.
Yeah, this one's pretty tricky.
Kill this
Probably
guy.
the second hardest pickup clip trick in the run. Nice.
And that skipped basically the entire second half of the level. Really cool trick. So I may die here, but Like we said earlier, dying is basically just a small 10-second time loss.
Nice.
And I got the Shadow Link quick kill. And I'm going to level up here from gems, which gives me the health refill, and I'll have L2 sword for the mini boss. Pegasus suits are also very slightly faster than rolling. Sometimes it's better to roll if you're scared of like bonking. Ooh, that's cool. I've never seen that. The glitch
Yeah, it's a
sword.
weird animation.
Yeah. Got another jewel cutscene. Hopefully this is the last one we'll be watching. This game's really cool. It has a lot of like sprites from A Link to the Past, but it also combines effects from like Wind Waker. I really like the art style in this game.
Definitely, for sure. Alright, 6-2 is a pretty difficult level.
How many levels have we said that about now?
Most of them.
Yeah.
Also, pickup clip heavy. We said
Yep.
that enough.
2 left-facing pickup clips, which, if you'll remember, are the harder kind. And 1 really awkward one at the beginning. Grab the statue. Thank you.
We used to have to do what was called a turtle clip. That has been obsoleted by pickup clipping. So
Regrettably.
no more Ninja Turtles,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But also fortunately.
So just getting the armors out of the way so we can pull this lever. That was kind of awkward. That's the first one. Oh, oops. A charged arrow will break the pots, so I have to wait for the arrow to get its charge. That's why I wait there. Move to pixel.
These ones are really tricky.
Ah, I missed the roll. That's the easy part.
It is actually possible to do it without rolling, but it's super tight.
Mm-hmm.
It's not worth going for a setup for that.
Lots of reds here. So because we skipped so much, we do have to get the gems from this rock. I want that.
So coming up, We're gonna kill this boss by just by throwing our friends at him. Easy. And then this is the worst Shadow Link fight in the game.
Yeah,
I mean,
could
it's not
lose
close.
like 2 minutes here, very realistically.
So there's 50% chance that you're just able to get it really easily. And then a 50% chance it's going to be the hardest thing in the world.
Can't tell. Nope,
Nope.
looks like it's the hardest thing in the world. Oh, that's a bummer.
So these guys can go into these Shadow Realms, and then, of course, last try. Then they can bounce around between the rooms, which... Watch, he's going to bounce.
Yep.
I know it. Oh, he didn't. He got lucky.
He'll jump to one of the sides here, though, most likely.
Yeah.
I have to see what he transforms into. Red.
You can do the swag pickup clip to get over there, too.
Oh, I could
I've
have.
seen
I
that
didn't think
too.
about that.
It's pretty cool, but also maybe not worth it. Okay, that...
Oh, I need to get the gem.
Oh, you do.
It's fine.
You have enough time.
Yeah, I have enough time. Gems will disappear after a while, but had enough time here.
So as far as that room can go, if you get bad RNG, it's about as good as you can hope for.
You know,
Still a lot slower than would have been if she had gotten good RNG. But very nice. That was a really good 7-2 to tough level, or 6-2.
another tough level coming up, 6-3. This one's got another flashy roll pickup.
I think
clip.
it's safe to say the levels from now on are all tough levels.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any not tough levels left. This level has one of the coolest tricks in the whole run, and the worst boss.
Another Nova Bomb screen. You can technically make this cycle, but it's extremely tight. I will probably not even go for it. Yeah, definitely not now. Okay, well, definitely not now.
Luckily, you have to kind of wait for the cycle to end anyway, so it doesn't waste too much time.
Here's the rolling in the air room. Whenever I show this to like 3D Zelda runners, they're always like, "Whoa, you can roll in the air?" Pretty funny.
So this next screen here is where Lonely's goal is to be able to clip past that huge wall into the room with chests. And that skips basically this entire level. Nice.
Easy.
First try.
That's a trick I can get walled on, so I'm really happy I got that.
Yeah, not trivial at all. Used to be a lot harder.
Yeah, we used to have to get the slingshot and do a stunned enemy clip, which is a thing where you can stun an enemy and clip into a wall. But pickup clip makes it faster and a little easier.
Another gap skip here.
That one's hard because it's 5 tiles wide, not 4.
You can also do a GSA G to get past that room too.
Oh yeah, you can.
I don't think it's faster though.
Good for glitchless. Speaking of glitchless, good time to mention, there is actually someone working on a glitchless category for this. It's not on the leaderboards, but there is like a glitchless run for this game. Still pretty interesting. This game has a lot of cool movement tech, as you've been seeing, so definitely check that out if you're interested in it.
So Lonely isn't taking damage here because the head is able to activate FLG as long as she doesn't stop moving. And she also hits the head every time she spin attacks there. She should be okay, but a lot can go wrong. And if you start getting hit, you can get owned really fast by these guys.
I need to pick up the gems.
Normally you're supposed to switch to the link, like casually, you're supposed to switch to the right color link, but a spin slash will take care of
Yeah, there's no
all the
penalty
options.
for hitting with the wrong color. I thought that was the last hit. That's why I lost FLG. No, almost
Yeah,
a fall this
that's
fight.
what can happen.
Yeah, almost a no-fall fight, but I'll take one fall.
This is one of those games, it's one of those speed games where sometimes the best you can hope for is not as bad as it could have been.
Definitely. Purple's also a pretty good maiden.
Agreed.
Probably the top three is green, light blue, and purple.
It's a little cutscene here because we collected all the maidens. Maybe collected is the wrong word.
Rescued.
Rescued, there you go, yeah.
By the way, I think I forgot to tell you I'm not doing snowball skip.
You know, I would be surprised if you went for that. I think that's a
Yeah.
pretty,
Extremely-
not a fun one.
Yeah, extremely difficult
So
FMC.
this next level, there's a couple of different ways to do it. The intended way is to get a fire rod to get past a huge snow wall, which is what Lonely's gonna do. There's another way to do it where you do like, I don't know how many FMCs, a lot of frame perfect FMCs, back to back to back. Probably like 10.
Yeah, it's like 10 frame perfect inputs in a row.
Yeah, and you can't miss a single one or else you have to restart it.
I'll give it one try for the fans, but don't expect me to get it.
There's the snow wall. We'll come back to that.
Oops.
This pickup clip actually isn't faster. The old way of doing it, you could soft lock pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's pretty much even with the other way, so there's no reason to
Yeah, if you get
risk
it
soft
quickly.
locking.
So I'm actually going to go down and do this fight first because it's faster with bombs.
You can use the bombs with pretty cool strat to take a lot of damage out of the guard early on. Makes it pretty easy. There's oh, never mind.
Yeah. This is going to get the fire rod.
Yeah.
This is what you can skip with the FMC
Right.
roll. But it's too scary for me.
Wastes about maybe a minute and a half, something like that.
Yeah.
But you can easily lose that by failing snowball skip a bunch of times. After all this pickup clip madness that really changed the game, we still can't skip snowball.
Yeah, easily. So now we have fire rod. Also, the snowball skipless route is a lot less tight on gems. Another reason to do it in a marathon. down here, there is an orb, a medallion orb, that we'll be using to skip the jewel cutscene like I did in 4-1.
Also, if Lonely is in the overworld and accidentally gets hit by an enemy while holding the orb, or accidentally throws it when she means to roll, it'll activate the orb and you can't like get a new one.
Yeah.
You just can't try the trick.
So I have to watch the minute 1 cutscene. So pretty scary, but thankfully I'm a pro or something. It's the Penguin Massacre.
This screen is super laggy. One of the few spots in the game where it lags a lot. There's a pretty cool strat with bombs where you can kill all of them basically. A couple bomb drops.
I'm a little short on gems, but should be fine.
Yeah, there's the extra like rock you can get.
Alright, 1 snow wall skip attempt. That was a pretty good one. Got a few in there. Yeah, you can see there I picked up the bomb even though I was like basically right of it. Very strange.
That's where you're supposed to be.
Actually, I think, yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
So you're guaranteed at least 500 from lobster. Here's another lobster, by the way. This one's the hardest one.
It's lobster on ice.
You're guaranteed at least 500, so you want to have at least 1,500 going into it to avoid having to rely on RNG.
Not
All right.
the worst.
So now we're going to do a pretty cool glitch where you maintain the momentum of ice physics when you screen transition, and that causes basically Green Link to move to the left like that, as if he was sliding on ice, but on the other screen. And you use that to get out of bounds.
Wait here. Okay.
And now we kind of wiggle the other inactive links into these really tight spots. And just like that, we're able to skip the gem cutscene. Very nice. That's very scary gem fight skip, because you just can't retry it if you fail it.
Yeah. One of the only tricks in the game like that. Seven 2 is a very technical level. Lots going on.
Probably my least favorite level. This one's the hardest for me.
Definitely a really hard level too. There is a way to skip pushing this statue, but it's pretty inconsistent. I don't like going for it.
You go for the second one later in the level?
Yeah,
So we'll see it later.
Yeah. Basically, you can have Green Link be on top of 2 switches at once.
The second one's a lot easier.
Yeah. Please. Hold it by pressing down against the door there. I can manipulate those wizard positions to always be the same to get the 1 cycle.
This screen is pretty cool. Normally you're supposed to throw bombs, but you can just use you can call the link and then stop the call before blue link gets to green link.
Yeah, if that goes poorly, it's really bad.
Yeah. So that was really nice because it's actually really tricky, especially with the ice physics.
Alright, welcome to the worst room in the game. We got bomb chews on the floor, ice physics, and bumpers.
Yeah. You can skip this room with a left-facing pickup clip, but those are really tricky. So it's like
Barely
only a little bit
faster.
faster. Yeah.
It also messes with the gem route a little bit. 'Cause you get
Right.
these. I'm gonna get this 20.
It's a pretty cool little time save.
So again, walking into this cutscene with the fire rod active, it's going to immediately stun all 4 links. This would be really hard to do itemless. It would be another awful fight. But because we can just instantly stun all 4, it's not too bad.
For some reason, one of them always doesn't get hit, though.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Pretty easy to hit them again.
Very nice.
Alright, need to make a cycle in this room.
This room is pretty tight to get onto that platform.
Yeah. Ice in this game is extremely slippery, as you would expect.
This next room is really cool. Nice. This gap skip is really annoying.
Yeah. Come on. There we go. Okay. Got that gap
Nice.
skip.
That one can be pretty scary, because the way that one works is it takes advantage of weird mechanics that happens when a Link is holding a pot or any item. It's possible, but way harder without a pot. And you have a limited number of pots there to try. So failing a bunch can be really costly if you run out of pots. This game would be super, super broken, even more broken if you could hold inactive links while they're inactive. Unfortunately, that's not the world we live in.
Where are you? This horde fight's pretty annoying. So here you're going to see an example of Green standing on 2 switches at once. Pretty easy to do by just jamming him in the middle.
Pretty cool
Roll.
cutscene skip
Yeah.
up here also.
Hopefully. Nice.
Nice.
Alright, good summon too.
That was a good 7-2. Do have a little cutscene here, but after that, we're going to have 7-3. 7-3 is a very interesting level because it is in a sideways facing 2D section, almost the entire thing. That makes it a little bit different because there's not really many glitches you can do when you're in that state. There's a few little things, but not really anything major. So any glitches we do are going to be in the 2D sections, which are like the top-down sections, which are only on the GBA screens. Also, one thing to note is the game prompts you to save every time you beat a level. So Lonely has to hit no every time, or else she loses time to the game saving. Also, the door doesn't work there if you jump attack at it. That's the only one that does that.
Yeah, extremely strange thing. Oh my goodness.
here we're gonna do a cool little trick to skip getting the slingshot, I think.
Yep.
You can use a jump slash. It's well timed.
I've been failing that a lot lately for some reason, so I'm glad I got that.
It can be really annoying if you fail it, because then they're not in like all blank, which makes it way harder to line up.
So this level is the other one that used to be glitchless, but now we can do a pickup clip in this level. To skip getting the fire rod for the first time. Basically in this level you're alternating between getting the fire rod and the feather.
This room is really interesting.
Yeah, I don't do it quite optimally, but still cool. Oops, that's fine. It was all intended.
Pretty cool strat that I think Brooke is going to do coming up here, by activating the.
I'll go for it, I
Yeah.
guess.
Oh, I didn't know you didn't go for it usually.
I don't, but I'll try it.
Makes it a little bit faster. Yeah, nice. Looks like that.
Yep. Oh, you can get something called a damage cancel, where if you roll and take damage on the same frame, basically cancels your knockback, but I didn't get it there, so I had to go through the knockback animation. Not a huge deal. Just gonna do this. This is slow, but whatever.
One thing I like about this level is there's so many gems that every runner kind of has their own gem route, and none of them are necessarily better or worse. Just kind of whatever you're comfortable with, which is pretty interesting and unique to this level.
Definitely.
You can burn down that ice pillar really fast for some reason. It's only that one.
Alright, coming up is the 3-frame jump. This is a Mario game now. Shouts to pace. Oh, got it. That jump is a 3-frame jump. Oops. This next one is pretty annoying. You have to take care of all the enemies. No. Little low on gems, but I'll get the 20s during the fight, so it should be fine.
Yeah, you have plenty.
I made sure those blocks burned, because sometimes they don't.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you can hit like in between 2 blocks and it won't burn anything. More jank in this game, as if it has enough.
So first we need to knock the boss down from its perch. And to do that we need to spawn in the platform.
See, I don't like this boss at all. I think it's really hard. Then I see players like Navilin do it in like 3 seconds.
Yeah, shoutouts to Navilin. I guess while we're talking about him, the world record holder for FSA. Also one of the most like incredible human beings I've ever met in my life. So, shouts to that guy.
Shoutouts to Novulin and shoutouts to Schnee. Those two people single-handedly keeping this game alive throughout all these years.
Yeah. I'm going to die.
Yeah, this is why this boss is really tough.
He can just sometimes, yeah. Oh well, like we said, dying's not a huge deal in this game.
Is this your first death? I
Yes.
think it might be your first death, which is really impressive, honestly.
There we go. Then you have to end it with a jump attack into it. Oops. So I got most of the pickup animations there because they just spawned on top of me. Not a huge deal.
Weirdly enough, when you get onto this screen, FLG is activated just by itself, which is really bizarre. So no one has really done a glitchless run of this game. Not
Yeah.
truly. It's impossible.
Nobody. Even you. So now we've rescued all the maidens and Zelda. So now we just have World 8 left. Regrettably, the hardest world. Maybe. Definitely the most chokeable.
For sure.
So this is the level with the version exclusive glitches. I'm jump slashing between the screens here. It's not something you can do on the English version.
Also coming up is the final lobster of the run. Now the number of blues you get is actually pretty important in this level. Hopefully we get a couple. Yeah, it's really
Two
good.
is fine.
2 is great. So hopefully we should have plenty of gems.
Also would like reds here, which I did get.
Yeah, this is plenty. Neat little pickup clip here. There's another strat that's faster. You have like a handful of frames to do a formation hover, but if you don't get it, you soft lock and have to restart the level.
The former scariest trick in the run, thankfully gone. This hover can be pretty annoying. You have to screen transition out of a hover. There we go.
Nice.
And then one final hover here. You have to hit the switch mid hover. This is actually a little low.
Spin slash maybe?
Yeah, I'm trying. I tried to do a quick spin. I may die now because of that, but
There's some hearts in the pots.
oh, good call.
There's lots of ways to get past this fire. Pickup clip is by far the easiest.
And also fastest, so.
Yep, you can do a FMC. You can also do a weird death push.
You can do a hover if you really, really hate yourself. The hover is probably... The hover to skip that, it might be the hardest trick in the game, actually.
That was a really good 8-1. That's a really tough level. A lot can go wrong.
A2 starts off as a side scroller like 7-3. A2 has these weird clouds, which we're going to take advantage of a glitch using them in a second here. Here's a really cool trick. By dropping the links, I can get onto a precise pixel, and this pixel happens to be the pixel where I can shoot the bow horizontally to activate those switches.
Yeah, it's kind of a crazy coincidence that works, because it's super precise for it to...
If you try and do it without the setup, you could be there for like a minute lining it up.
It just happens to work out perfectly where you can just side hop over there. So this trick is super janky. Basically, clouds are weird. And they cause, if you screen transition wrong on them, they can cause the links
I
to
messed up.
be teleported in weird spots. Oh boy. This could be a little bit spicy.
We're just gonna
Okay.
reset it up.
I think this should be okay. Yeah. You can soft luck here for sure. There we go, that should be good. So Link is all the way in the top of the screen for some reason. Green Link is. So we can use that to get red Link
There we go.
on the ladder. Super janky trick and very cool. It's another Nova Bomb screen.
This one has another tight cycle you can make. I may or may not go for it. Stay tuned.
Nice. You have invulnerability frames after you enter or leave a...
I probably could have gone for it, but I'm just gonna wait.
After you enter or leave a GBA screen, you have invulnerability frames.
Using a charged arrow to break the pots that are on those switches.
Yeah, it's a very nice touch the developers did where the GBA screens and the overworld screens can interact with each other like that.
Yeah, this game's super cool. I was talking in the practice room about this. I actually think this game's a super underrated casual game.
Oh, for sure.
As like a single player experience.
Yeah, even as a single player.
Yeah,
it's
definitely give this
awesome.
game a try if you can.
If your friends tell you that you can only play this game multiplayer, they're lying to you. Because I've heard that before. This formation hover is really weird.
Nice.
Right, that was really good.
Fast.
It can be really janky sometimes. Also here you can soft lock.
And
Luckily
here
she
you
did
can
not.
soft lock. I'm gonna do probably the scariest trick in the run, so I'm gonna focus here. Hopefully this works. Okay, looks good.
Wow, that is so impressive. That is honestly probably the hardest trick in the run, I think, in my opinion. Basically no one goes for that.
Yeah, I've implemented it recently because I wanted the time save in this level. But yeah, there's another hover you can do that's a lot safer. That is generally like the strat, but I've started doing that one recently. That one has a higher chance to soft lock. Oh, please.
Here's another screen where the green gem can fall into a pit.
Please. Another roll gap skip here. Does that work?
Yeah. Here you can't go into the center of the screen or else you'll trigger the Shadow Link fight. Nice. There's lots of different ways to skip that.
That might have been a gold split. That was really good.
Yeah, that was really good. That level is really hard, and that was a really clean 8-2. This whole run has been extremely clean. You think this is PB pace?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm just gonna take it as it goes. I've definitely thrown runs in 8-3 before, so.
So this level has gone through a lot of changes with the new pickup clip. Probably the most different level out of all of them. The fastest way to do it, and it still is to actually play 2-player. If you see some of Navilin's old runs, he plays this run with 2 controllers, which is very difficult. There's lots of co-op exclusive glitches that really speed this level up. But with pickup clipping, you can actually be really comparable to the time you would get with a optimal co-op route, but without having to play with 2 controllers. So like for humans, this is probably the way to go.
Also less like equipment, because you need the GBAs and you need the link cables to do the co-op route, so definitely a lower barrier to entry.
Yeah,
The
definitely.
pickup clip route.
We used to have to do some zombies,
For the single player route.
right? But those are also gone. So this is a really weird left-facing pickup clip. You're basically just trying to get the Link out of bounds, and while they're out of bounds, they can roll up to get to the door and clip inside the door.
Oh, please. This area is also pretty dark, so it can be hard to see.
This one's one of the harder pickup clips, and you have to do it twice. So
Yeah. Hopefully only twice. There we go.
nice. This fight's really difficult with the bumpers.
Yeah. So all I needed to do was open that door. Because now I'm going to do a really weird glitch called bomb storage.
This
Definitely
movement
need
is
to focus for this.
really tight.
Nice.
Nice. So you can kind of carry the bomb explosion with you to the other end of the screen in a very bizarre way. But it's super tight.
I have to give shoutouts to Glyph actually for helping me out a lot with that trick when I was learning it.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
I want the hearts here. Oops.
Oh, you do the
Yeah, I do this.
the
method.
yeah, reunite FMC. There's 2 different ways you can FMC this, with the reunite or with the roll.
I don't like the roll.
Yeah, it's just a matter of whatever you're more comfortable with.
I also don't like this. So, you know.
This is the only one of these we can skip past.
No.
So you don't actually need to get 2,000 gems in this level. We don't care about gems. It's really tricky.
There we go.
Nice.
Not terrible. I am really bad at that trick, so I'm happy I didn't spend too long on it.
So now we have the Vadi fight. This fight's pretty straightforward. It's a little bit more difficult in co-op.
Yeah, in co-op you have to throw a million bombs into him. In single player you only have to do 3. Really weird change. Does that work? No. Come on.
The tornado is pretty jank.
Yeah. Oh, that worked. Wow, I thought I was going to fall back in the hole.
This fight is pretty typical because he can just be really erratic with his movement, body. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah,
Could be
can
worse.
definitely be down there for like a minute. Cool. So I think this is actually PV pace.
You're just at 2 hours.
Yeah. And this takes like 5 minutes. Or 6. So yeah, this is like PV by minute pace. Which I did not expect, but you know, I'll take it. Not over yet though, we still have the collapse. And the Ganon fight, of course. Sorry, spoilers. Ganon is the final boss of this game. I know, it's really shocking in a Zelda game that Ganon would be the final boss.
Also, Ganon can be pretty RNG dependent. It can really own you sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the reason that she grabbed an extra heart container.
Yeah, I'll also be grabbing a blue bracelet in this
Yeah,
collapse.
you take a lot of intentional damage, so your hearts can go down really quickly.
This is called hessing because you do it during the tower collapse. I guess that joke's not relevant anymore, but in OOT speedruns you used to hest on the tower. So worth noting, because we skipped the gem barrier, I still only have the level 1 sword, and that's going to make the Ganon fight a lot slower. There have been theorized routes where you get a level 2 sword for Ganon, but it's just never really been faster.
Also, Zelda only has 1 heart, and if she dies, Billings die also.
Yeah. Die of a broken heart.
She just stops sometimes also. She'll like just be walking and then stop.
Oh, we didn't even talk about it, but I have the level 2 boots.
Oh, it's true, yeah.
These allow me to go over gaps. It's the only time we use L2 in the run. Basically, you can upgrade your items in this game. But again, like heart containers and everything, it doesn't persist between levels. So we don't do it a ton. In fact, this is the only time we do it.
If you, also in this screen, if you like step on a button and then immediately get off it, you can put Zelda into a spot where you're soft locked.
Yeah, I was very careful to not do that.
You can also soft lock in this screen too.
Yes, tower is very jank. Something cool here that I like to show off. If you shoot your arrows between this fire, they become fire arrows. Pretty cool. Alright, and we made it out of the tower.
So Ganon has 3 phases. The first one is the most annoying, probably, because he can shoot these beams at you that'll send you into the Shadow Realm, which is really slow. Also, he teleports all over the place really randomly. And you just kind of have to chase after him.
A lot of text here.
by taking intentional damage, you can avoid getting sent to the Shadow Realm. Pretty cool strat.
Getting Shadow Realm isn't too bad because, I mean, it's obviously slow, but you do get a heart refill. Looks like I'm gonna die here, but it's fine. Dying in this fight is semi-expected. Yeah, it's fine.
While we're in this cutscene, we have a donation for $20 from Anonymous. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. All right, now we're in the final phase. We just have to reflect five green orbs back at Ganon, and then I need to fire the light ball into him, and that'll be time. Now, very important, I need to fire arrows into the wall to manipulate Ganon. This is a total placebo, but I swear it's real. Two. Three. 4. And time. That's a PB.
That was a great run.
Yeah, 206. What's your PB?
Mine?
Yeah.
Probably like 206 or 207. I don't remember.
It's a 206. I just forget the seconds. I think that might be it exactly. 206.38.
That'd be so funny if
So
we're
I might
tied.
actually. I'm gonna check. So. Give me a second here.
That's really funny. That was an amazing run.
Yeah. Thank you everybody for watching. Shout outs to the entire FSA community. Y'all are awesome. Best community I've ever been a part of. No offense to any other community I've ever been a part of. But yeah, a lot of really great people. Your PB is at 206.31, so barely avoided a bop.
Let's go.
Watch out. Yeah, thanks to everyone for watching. I'm really happy. Thanks, Glyph. Your commentary was awesome. This month marks 10 years of me running this game, so I'm really happy I got to do a marathon run. And yeah, shouts to everyone, but especially Navilin. Again, you're super awesome, dude, and he's super awesome at this game. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. That's going to be it from me. Stay tuned for my Castlevania run on Tuesday at 3 a.m.-ish. Yeah, that's all from me. Thanks for watching.